Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you are so very welcome indeed. Darlings, we are having a meet and greet on the 20th of July in United Kingdom, London, and I cannot wait to meet and see all of you. It's going to be at the Novotel Hotel where we had the meet and greet last year, and we're going to have dancing, we're going to have music, we're going to have food, we're going to have drink, we're going to have snacks, we're going to have goodie bags, we're going to have prizes to be won, we're going to have all kinds of games, we're going to have Q&A with Fumi Nation, at least minimum 2 hours. We've got fashion, we've got beauty, we've got guests, we've got vendors. It's going to be a blast. And above all else, guess what? My brand is going to be exclusive only to you, for you to buy, to touch, to feel. It's going to be phenomenal. Guess what? Tickets are down below. It's going to be fantastic when I tell you. Fantastic. A lot of you had said, Fumi, you don't get up and show us your outfit. What's up with that? Excuse me, let me get up right now and show you. It is simple pants. These pants, I think, are from Pretty Little Thing. And then this, my darling, is a shirt that you twist. It's actually a shirt that you twist over and around. I think I got like 1.something million views because I did a short of it. I'm going to put it up there for you. So I'm going to start standing up so that you can see what I look like. Anywho, why are we here? Now, you know, I don't really venture too much in politics. I kind of mind my business, and do my thing. But it was inevitable that our darling president of the United States, Mr. Trump, and I were going to kind of sort of cross paths. And it came in the form of what? Tariffs. He has been putting tariffs on numerous countries for the past month or so. And guess what? United Kingdom was not exempt. But the most interesting tariff that he put on to was China. Yes, my darling, China. I don't know why, but China is looked upon as inferior. And this amuses me like no man's business, because they are what? They are top tier.
There's a confusion about China that, and let me at least give you my opinion. The popular conception is that companies come to China because of low labor cost. I'm not sure what part of China they go to, but the truth is China stopped being the low labor cost country many years ago, and that is not the reason to come to China from a supply point of view. The reason is because of the skill and the quantity of skill in one location and the type of skill it is. Like the products we do require really advanced tooling. And the precision that you have to have in tooling and working with the materials that we do are state of the art. And the tooling skill is very deep here. You know, in the US, you could have a meeting of tooling engineers and I'm not sure we could fill the room. In China, you could fill multiple football fields. It's that vocational expertise is very deep. Very, very deep here.
So our darling president of the United States, Mr. Trump, said, I'm going to put 125% tariff on you on bringing things in. The first thing that happened was Apple hired 5 planes to go and get, I think, 16 million worth of iPhones, because they knew that this was going to be intense. Do you understand what I'm saying? The fashion industry has been feeling the pinch because for some bizarre reason, and I know Trump did not know this, but in every single home, and I'm speaking for myself now, in every single home, there is something that you have bought that was produced in China, manufactured in China before it was distributed. Where's my water? Because you know what? I don't know whether you guys are familiar with a saying, and I love it. The saying goes, you might not notice how I'm moving for you until I park. That's exactly what China indirectly told Trump, you want to put tariffs on us? We'll put tariffs on you. Quickly, Trump removed the tariffs from computers, equipment, phones, and the like, because he knew he was going to feel it in his pocket too. But I think we kind of sort of cheesed off the Chinese.
Problem is that in this scenario, to use your metaphor, the US has the bigger gun, and so China ends up having more to lose from this trade war, doesn't it? You know, it can't sustain the loss of 15% of its export market, i.e. what you export to the US.
Not at all. China is fully prepared to fight to the very end, because the world is big enough that the United States is not the totality of the market in the world. So if the United States wants to go in that direction of completely shutting itself out of the China market, be my guest.
Yeah, and China will lose the US market, which, as I've said, is 15%.
We don't care. We don't care. China has been here for 5,000 years. Most of the time, there was no United States, and we survived. And if the United States wants to bully China, we will deal with the situation without the United States. And we expect to survive for another 5,000 years.
And they're like, you know what? We quiet, we mind our business. All of you all love Chinese food, including me. We work like crazy, bare minimums, we're not complaining. And in so doing, they became experts at what they do. There's nobody that don't go to China for their makeup, for their beauty, for their bags, for the designer bags, for the Louis, for the Gucci, for the Chanel. And you know what happens when they manufacture them over there? It comes back to Europe, Paris and all the other places, and then they stamp one or two things, add a little leather piece here and there. I've been knowing this for the past 10 years guaranteed. Why? Because I really was heavily in the beauty industry, and so when you had palettes, it would come and it would say assembled in the USA, and it was manufactured in China. There are many brands, I'm not going to mention names, that did that. So I knew that, you know what, for you to think that China is inferior is very ignorant of us Americans, because I'm a dual citizen, I'm also British and American, so I include myself. It's also ignorance that one would not know that the best leathers in the world comes from my country, Nigeria. To be specific, Kano. Some of you might not know, but I went to school in the north, and we used to drive to the north and would pass through Kano. You can't believe the kind of products and bags and slippers and mats and centerpieces that you could get.
The bags come from China, but the leather comes from Nigeria. The bags are manufactured in China, but the leather, the exotic skins, the snake skin, the alligator, it comes from Kano, Nigeria. Come on in, let's talk about it. Yes, because I love that the Chinese manufacturers are coming on here and asserting that they are producing these luxury bags and luxury goods, but also Black people have a hand in that manufacturing by way of tanneries in Kano, Nigeria. So a tannery is an institution, a business in which you are converting animal products like skins, leather, suede, alligator skins, snake skins, all kinds of exotic skins into textiles so that they can be used for goods, clothing, bags. And Kano, Nigeria is headquarters, world headquarters for this practice. And they have long since been headquarters for hundreds of years. So I interviewed during the pandemic a man named Winston, and he leads a business out of Kano, Nigeria called Winston Leathers. And they are actually a third generation tannery. So he confirmed that his tannery produces leather goods and exotic skins for brands like LVMH, so Louis Vuitton's portfolio of brands, Ralph Lauren, many other luxury brands. And I interviewed him on Twitter. I'll link to that thread so you can go back and read it. But yeah, he shared that this practice of providing exotic skins to the world, but specifically to China, goes back to the Silk Road, when traders in Mali were providing leather goods up through Morocco and on into Asia. Moroccan leather is known for its quality, and Winston actually shared that Moroccan leather can be traced back to Kano, Nigeria, and is actually Kano leather.
My beautiful TikTokers are out here in these social media streets, and they're letting us know the whole shebang. And they brought out the whole tea. Fumi Nation came into my DMs on Instagram. Fumi, you have to talk about this because it's affecting all of us. There are so many things that if I could not get in the stores or whatever, I'll go into eBay. And for the first time I saw the American VAT, I said, I don't know if I got it like that. In this climate of our economy, no sir. No, sir. As far as I'm concerned, as you know me, I bought the Workin. What was the Workin? That was the Walmart Birkin. I have a couple of knockoffs, only to find out, baby girl, it's not a knockoff, it's the real deal. It might not have the stamp of approval to say finesse, darling. In short, merci beaucoup. Allure. It might not have that. But it's the same leathers, it's the same threading, it's the same stitching.
Some say as long as there's a tag saying made in China, the bag can never be luxury. However, in fact, more than 80% of the luxury bags in the world are made in China. But those luxury brands just won't acknowledge that. They take almost finished bags from China factories back to their own factories and just do the repackaging and logo installing, something like that. That way, the bags will appear at their boutiques as made in Italy or made in France. You know, those sophisticated European countries, which make you feel mysterious, royal, and thus luxury. Now, close your eyes. Let's just do a little, very easy experiment in your head, okay? Imagine that you have an Hermes bag, and suddenly the label on it changed from made in France into made in China, while everything else, like leathers, zippers, and hardware, remain the same. Do you suddenly feel that your bag is not as luxury as before? If you do, that means you have been misled and poisoned by the market campaign of those luxury brands for too long. Welcome to the real world. Now you see, those bags are made in China by our intelligent and diligent Chinese artisans. Let's not be poisoned and misled by the market campaign any longer and be a real person. Buy a bag from us, from our factory in China. See the real world for yourself.
No shade to that creator whatsoever, but to anyone who still thinks that made in China means that something is of an inferior quality needs to address the latent racism that lives within them. Just because a Birkin or a Chanel classic flap is then sent to France to add the made in France symbol right at the end doesn't mean that French quality and French craftsmanship is somehow superior than Chinese. If you're someone who subscribes to this belief system, I would really ask you to critically analyze where this Eurocentric belief system has come from. Because clearly from every single brand that you can think of, from Lululemon to COS to Chanel to Hermes to every product in Sephora is manufactured in China. Clearly, they're doing something right. This isn't anything new, and another example that comes to mind is how they tried to demonize MSG and Chinese food cooking based on one letter to a journal that had absolutely zero facts or evidence to back it up, when MSG is actually a naturally occurring compound in foods such as tomato and cheese. It's called monosodium glutamate, and it's literally naturally occurring. I think what is particularly egregious about this slander against made in China is that it ignores the absolute rich wealth of history about Chinese trade and Chinese manufacturing. Think back to the Silk Road and how Chinese silk was once the epitome of luxury fashion. Forget about the row, and this was thousands of years ago. In China, their looms were weaving the most intricate brocade designs way before the West ever got it. They had porcelain, they had jade, they had some of the earliest examples of calligraphy on man-made paper. Yet we discount all of that rich history, all of those thousands of years of craftsmanship, and demonize made in China. I'm so glad that the Chinese wholesalers are hitting back and asking Western consumers to wake up, because this is the revolution. It is being televised, and if this app gets taken away from us, we'll all know why.
Baby, I'm over here screaming. Ignore this, I just got a shower. China is eating our asses up. They're actually, baby, they're eating everybody up. That motherfucker said, step into the light, Caroline. Them bags ain't being made in Italy. They're being made right here in China, being repackaged in Italy, and they're putting that little stamp, made in Italy. He said, does the quality change if you saw made in China? He said, how would you feel if you found out it was made in China? He said, come to me and get the product. China said, y'all gonna go low, we gonna drive y'all to hell. Baby, I just want y'all to know, if y'all see my sisters with some Birkins, they the real Birkins, we went straight to China. Hey, I mean, if I could get them a Birkin for $200, $300, and it's the real spill deal, I don't mind that motherfucker saying made in China. I hope they don't either, bitch. It's gonna be a Merry Christmas around here. I'm going straight to the dealer. What? Baby, they done cut the middleman. This is like the plug. I ain't got to go to the store no more. I can go to the dealer himself. China. Any Chinese person that see this, that got them, that they was calling replicas, go ahead, hit the DM. Hit the D and the M. I'm proud of y'all. I'm proud of y'all for standing on motherfucking business, and I love waking up to the bullshit. I just love it. China, do your thing, baby. Show out and show up, okay? Now, my sister might not get no Birkins, because I don't even care if I know shit like that, but yeah, I want some shit.
145% tariff on trade war TikTok. You know, Trump came out and he said, you know what, China, 145% tariff on anything that comes from China, you know, minus the cell phones and the laptops and some electronics. And you know, Trump is getting scared right now. Okay. But then China came back and they just clapped back so hard, and they are exposing all of these luxury brands. And you know what China did? They rolled the dice, specifically the Coach dice. Guys, these are my Coach dice. I got them last weekend. It says Coach on the little hang tag, and then on the back of it, it literally says made in China, okay? Saw that one TikTok from Send Bags with that guy, and he was going over all of the hardware and the material cost to make the Hermes Birkin bag. Guys, this is the Walmart Birkin bag. Where do you think this was made? In China, okay? I got it in black. I also have it in brown. And lastly, I have it in orange too, guys. The H orange, yes. Interested, you can still find like the Walmart Birkin or the Walmart Kelly on the TikTok shop. I see them. Some of them have free shipping, some of them don't. They're like between 85 and like 120 bucks. You know what? I probably have some in my showcase. If you're interested, check it out. This is my Louis Vuitton monogrammed embossed leather long wallet, okay? I love this wallet. I think it's amazing. I think it looks great. Canal Street, $20, guys, okay? And you know what? I think, here's the thing. It's not like this is going to be like washing clothes or like, you know, it's a wallet, guys, you know, and all of these people on TikTok, they are coming out and you see all of these manufacturers, all of these suppliers, and they say, you know what? This is made in the same factory as the other ones that you're paying $2,000 for. I just got this one on Canal Street for 20 bucks. I've seen some manufacturers on TikTok recently come out and say, the Chanel double flap, yeah, this costs like $40 to make. It's not, why is Chanel charging us $10,000 for this bag? Lastly, the Gucci Marmont camera bag, okay? I love it, you know. But why is Gucci charging us $2,000, $3,000 for this when the manufacturers are out here outing every luxury brand out there? Hermes, Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, YSL, Prada, and they say, you know what? All of that stuff, that bag is made in China, and then they ship it to maybe Italy or France, and they add a couple touches, and then they add their own stamping inside, and they say, made in lowercase Italy, okay? And I'm just like, my mother, she has this saying that the American dream, everything here, the American dream is actually made in China. And you know what? Now that I think about it and I say that out loud, I don't think she's wrong, you know? China is standing up for itself right now and saying, you know what? We're here to fight this trade war. And as an American consumer, okay, I'm going to let you know right now, I'm here for it, okay? I don't think anything on this shelf is worth more than like $250 at the most, you know? And then Send Bags came out and said that $40,000 Birkin bag that Hermes is charging you $40,000 for, we can make that bag, that cost of making that bag is $1,400. So why is America, the richest country in the world, just out here, just totally blindsided and paying these ridiculous astronomical prices. And on a final note, especially in the state of the economy that we are in right now in the United States of America, is it really wise to spend $40,000 on a Birkin bag when you can buy the Walmart Birkin for like $100, let's be honest, and then you can put the other $39,900 into a 401k, put it into your Roth, put it into, invest it, buy a home. That's a down payment on a home, $39,900. Like, go use that. Go buy your first home, guys. Come on.
I thought it was common knowledge that luxury items aren't that expensive to make. Like, you're really just paying for the brand of it all. It's like how much worth people are putting into the brand itself and giving it like the status of being luxury. And like if a company comes out and prices their bags at a certain price point and says we're a luxury brand, even though it costs $50 to make whatever the fuck, and then they sell it for $50,000, it is the people putting the worth of that brand into the brand. It's like how $1 is literally just a piece of paper. Like, it literally is just a piece of paper. And it's not even a sturdy one. Like, other countries have sturdy bills. We can rip our shit so fucking easily. It's ridiculous. But we have so much, like, worth in this dollar. We put so much worth into the dollar. So it means so fucking much. And it means, like, everything. But at the end of the day, it's a piece of paper. It's the same thing with these luxury brands. Like, yes, it's a nice bag. And, yay, it was $50,000, but it cost them $200 to make from beginning to end. So you're just paying for, like, the branding and, like, the little medallion that's on the luxury item.
Prada's Chinese supplier. All this information are also in my latest blog, so go to my website. So Prada has quite a few suppliers for their handbags, although they don't have any handbags that would say made in China. But let me tell you how to tell if it's made in China. So the factories and suppliers in China, they have a code. For 时代, they produce two codes that's attached to their handbags. One is 165, one is 175. So 175 will be Prada's main product line, and 165 will be like less featured, less important handbags. If you want to see the tags, it's usually in the zipper component in your bag. So if it's made by 时代 factory in China, it will have 175 on the tag. But 时代 does not make any Saffiano leather handbags. If you found a Saffiano leather handbag that has 175 on the fabric tag, it's probably a fake bag. 立泰 is another company that makes Prada's handbag, and their code is 164. This factory also makes handbag for Burberry, but apparently they were forced to move their production in Southeast Asia now, so they don't actually have a factory inside of China. Huixiong is another factory. Their code is 224. They mainly make wallets, and with wallets the code is usually hot stamped. So take a look at your Prada bags and see if they're made in China.
Do not forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, baby. All of my love.